All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to By the Numbers, episode 11. James Carlson here. I'm back with Alex McNabb as usual. We have a pretty dense topic today, actually. We're going to cover credentialism and sort of the creep of requirements that are strangling the American worker. There's quite a bit to say, right, Alex?
Yes. Yes, there
I'm gonna
is.
I'm gonna jump right in here with the information I gathered. Because when I first started looking into this, I was met with a hilarious article about a restaurant in Washington, D.C. that requires their new servers to have bachelor degrees.
What?
Yeah, it's at the very top of the prep.
But
Um,
but
the
why?
because they're serving people rosé cider and uh, prosciutto wrapped melon slices. I don't fucking know because they're dumb. Like they're
What kind of bachelor's degree?
It didn't say. It just said a 4-year degree. But well, this is the thing. As we'll go through the data, there's this trend with a lot of employers. It doesn't really matter what your 4-year degree is. It's just have a 4-year degree. The 4-year degree can be in explaining the history of the phallus in Western culture, and it doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, is the theory that you're trying to use this as a proxy for like an IQ test? I've heard that that's sort of the rationale behind doing that.
I mean, maybe because this restaurant, for example, was in Washington D.C., which is obviously extremely heavily black. So maybe they don't want blacks pouring
But
rosé.
the problem too with that is that you get grade inflation these days to the point where, I mean, there's plenty of 4-year programs that you can just sleep through.
Well, yeah, you and I talked about this off the air one time, and I was texting you. I was texting you data on it. I don't have it in front of me, but for people of color and especially for women with female professors, grade inflation is a very real thing. There are
Hmm.
professors who just say, "Oh, you're black, okay, you pass." Mark, you're great. Like it's a bad IQ test proxy.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a nice introduction to how credentialism is killing America. I found sort of so much fascinating data here, and the crux of it from a Harvard study, and I'm going to refer back to this for most of the program, is what's called the degree gap. And the essence of this, without throwing numbers at it immediately, is that boomers are doing jobs, and to some degree Xers are doing jobs with only having a high school degree, and they're good jobs. These are supervisors, these are management, or they've worked in the same position for, I don't know, 30 years. These are good jobs.
Hmm.
They have no degree. But then the people who are coming in behind them are required to have degrees. So a great example, a concrete example, was 16% of current rather, and outgoing production managers have college degrees. Or I'm sorry, do not have a college degree. 67% of the new ones that they're hiring have to have one.
Production managers?
Production managers.
But I mean, I feel like that's one of those jobs where you work in the field for a while and then eventually you graduate to the point where you're able to
It
direct the
is.
process, right?
It is. Yeah. But
Like
that's
what good is it to bring in somebody who's got a 4-year degree in underwater basket weaving? Like how does that translate into being able to manage a production line?
I don't know.
Especially
I couldn't find an answer. I couldn't find answers. This is the thing with the sort of the degree gap and the credentialism. I cannot find concrete answers for why the entirety of the economy is doing this. It's just like corporate behavior that they seem to think people with a degree are inherently more valuable. I mean, obviously, if you're a theoretical physicist with a fucking PhD, you're inherently more valuable, but in a very specific way. Like you can't put broad value on just holding a degree, yet they try to.
right.
Another one from this Harvard study is that, so referring to the degree gap, An even bigger one is supervisors in lawnscaping, lawn service, and groundskeeping workers. The degree gap is 55%, meaning they now want the majority of people they're hiring in to have a 4-year degree.
That doesn't, because see, I've worked in that particular job.
Right.
People
Yeah, so have I.
with 4-year degrees don't want to go into landscaping because it's not like you sit in the air conditioning if you're a manager in a landscaping company.